Soon in this hour on Capitol Hill, a key vote on a bill that is really important for two reasons. The FBI wants it to pass because they say America is absolutely unsafe from foreign threats without it. House Speaker Mike Johnson wants it to pass to avoid another embarrassing failure and try to keep his job. Important context here. This same vote failed just 48 hours ago after Donald Trump on Truth Social told lawmakers to kill it. But now another vote is about to be underway, and after that, the House Speaker will hop on a plane to Mar-a-Lago to, proverbially, kiss the ring on the first tightly gripping the Republican Party. That is, of course, Donald Trump as he fights to keep his gavel. And the confusion doesn't stop there. Once in Mar-a-Lago, Trump and Johnson are set to make joint remarks about something else, the upcoming election. More important context, Trump led a failed effort to overturn results of the last election, and Johnson tried to help him. CNN's Elena Treen has brand new details this morning about what is going to happen at that Florida event. But first, let's get to Lauren Fox on Capitol Hill. Give us a sense of what is happening now. I know this has been in the making, Lauren. Is there a sense it may actually pass this time?
Yeah, this morning the House has just started voting on a series of procedural issues. This first one is something that typically happens pretty flawlessly. The next one is the one that we care about. That is because it is the vote to pass what is known as the rule up here on Capitol Hill. This is the vote that failed just 48 hours ago with 19 hardliners voting against it. Now, we do not know if this is going to actually get them to pass and if this is going to get them to the debate, but we do know that there are many members who voted against the rule last time who are now saying that they are comfortable with the changes that have been made to this bill. The key change is that instead of this being a 5-year reauthorization of the Federal Intelligence Surveillance Act, it is now a 2-year reauthorization. The reason a lot of hardliners believe that if Donald Trump wins in November, he will then be the president and can make his own changes to this bill that he wants to see. That is exactly why many hardliners saying that they are comfortable with it this morning. But again, when it comes to these rules votes, we have seen before them fall apart on the House floor 7 times in this Congress alone. So we're just going to have to keep a very close eye. Sarah?
And I know you will. We will as well. We're expecting that vote happening during this hour. I want to go to you now, Lady Treen. Johnson's headed to Mar-a-Lago, not talking about FISA, not talking about this, but something completely different that keeps getting relitigated. Give us a sense.
Well, that's exactly right, Sarah. Mike Johnson is heading to Mar-a-Lago in part to emphasize his close ties to the former president as he faces this threat from some of his House Republican colleagues to strip him of his speaker's gavel. Now, I am told from some of Donald Trump's senior advisors that the goal of this event today is to really focus on what they are calling so-called election integrity. And part of that is really this emphasis on state proposals and lawsuits that would allow ultimately non-citizens to vote in the election. But I want to be very clear here, Sarah. There is already a federal law in place that bans non-citizens from voting in elections. But this is really something we've seen Donald Trump and Republicans focus heavily on ahead of November. It's this idea, something that Donald Trump has claimed repeatedly in the past, that undocumented migrants are coming into the country to play a part in the election, to potentially vote for Democrats. They're arguing Democrats want these immigrants to come into the country and play a role and impact the 2024 election. Now, again, I think really the message of this event today is to try to link this issue of election integrity with voters' real concerns over immigration. And again, something that Republicans are going to continue to try to do in the lead up to November. Now, I do also want to point out that there is some nuance here. We do know that in some cities, non-citizens are allowed to vote in some non-federal elections, places like the school board elections, for example, but that is not a widespread problem. So that's what we're looking at today. And I do also just want to point out that they are billing this event between Johnson and Trump as a press conference. However, it's still unclear if they're actually going to take questions. Trump's advisors say that they're going to, but as you know, they may say that. It doesn't always mean they will. Sarah?
Yeah, they may be talking about election integrity, and over and over again, we know that there was no widespread fraud in the 2020 election, but we know that Johnson is also worried about his job, so we'll have to see what happens there. All right, Lena Treen, Thank you.